Are you aware that while trying to take all those things you like, those food you crave for, you might end up creating some more problem for yourself if you don't add moderation to it? And that's not because these things are bad in themselves, but because some nutrients in them, when taken in excess, can keep you at risk of getting some medical conditions. Now, I wasn't going to say this at all, but then I remember what a friend showed me recently. A kidney stone of about 5 millimeters came out of his body while peeing. Let's not even talk about the pain and the bleeding that followed, because that's unimaginable. And that's exactly why I'm more concerned about this, because majority of the risk factors are still within us. These are things we deal with on a daily basis. Are you also aware that when these kidney stones get stuck in the urinary tract, especially the bigger ones, they can obstruct urine movement and place your kidneys at some more risk? If we keep mentioning these things, the list will keep piling up and going without ending. And that's why we should talk about this. At least let's get to see all those things in our food that can make kidney stones to form in our body and see what that can help us with. There are a lot of things you're going to learn from this video, so ensure you watch it to the end. And one more thing, if this is the first time you're seeing my video, please ensure you subscribe to my channel so that you get a lifetime access to all my videos. Okay, now what exactly are kidney stones? Someone even asked me, do people get to swallow these things while they are eating? Or how exactly do this stuff get into the body in the first place? Alright, the answer is no. They don't get swallowed while eating, at least not for this purpose. But then these are hard substances that form in the kidneys majorly from what we eat, especially when the urine becomes much concentrated. Now you have some of them like calcium oxalate, uric acid, calcium carbonate, calcium phosphate, struvite, cysteine, and stuffs like that. There are a lot of them. Now, what happens is that the kidneys are always working to filter the blood and remove waste products, and at the same time retain some elements that are still needed by the body. This is how God made it, and is wonderful in doing that. Now, all these filtered out substances remain in a dissolved state in the urine. But what happens is when the urine becomes much concentrated, either because it's produced in a little amount or there are many dissolved substances in them, especially the kidney stone forming ones. Now, some crystals will begin to form in them, especially in persons who are genetically disposed for that. Now, sometimes these crystals can stick together and form bigger stones, which can cause obstruction within the urinary tract. And this is the one that causes you pain. This is the one that causes you bleeding. This is the one that causes you tears and wear within that tract. And this is how all these things get formed. Now, this is where it gets more interesting. How does our food, the things we eat on daily basis, get involved here? Number one, excess intake of animal protein. And when I say this, I mean things like red meat, chicken, organ meats like the liver and kidney, and some other parts of the body that people crave for, and certain type of seafood, things like oyster, crab, and sardines. Many of these things contain a nutrient called urine, which when broken down in the body releases uric acid, another kidney stone former. Now, nobody is saying that you shouldn't eat any proteinous substance. These things are very wonderful. In fact, they help to build your body, and it's even encouraged that you make it a part of your daily meal. But then what we don't want, what we discourage, is excess intake of all these things. And apart from this one, another class of food that can place you at risk of getting kidney stones when you take them in excess are those that contain high amount of oxalates. Let's look at this example. Leafy vegetables like spinach, legumes like peanuts and other types of nuts, and then sweet potatoes. All these ones are high in oxalate. And why are we mentioning oxalate here? Because when they are much, they can combine with filtered out calcium to form calcium oxalate, which is the commonest among all these kidney stones. And then we need to make something very importantly clear here. It is not all combination between calcium and oxalate forms kidney stone. In fact, the dietary calcium that we get in our body are very helpful because they bind with excess oxalate to get them excreted even before they have all the time to get to the kidney where they have the chance to form stone. And apart from this, another thing that can be a problem for you is when you take excess amount of salt. When your food contains too much sodium, which is one of the major elements of table salt that we use in seasoning our food, Now the kidneys will get into action to try to remove excess ones before they get harmful to the body. And now, because both sodium and calcium are being regulated by the same part of the kidneys, as excess sodium is being removed, excess amount of calcium is still being filtered out. And now that will create some more risk for kidney stone formation. And how do we get here? Consumptions of processed food like instant noodle, salty snacks like biscuit and cakes, packaged food, processed meat, and canned food, stuff like that. And so, while the problem may not be the excess salt itself, the excess salt in itself has a lot to influence on the amount of calcium that is being filtered out. And now, the worst of all these things is when you take all these foods without taking enough amount of water. This one, you are just harming yourself all by yourself. The commonest cause of kidney stone formation is dehydration, and that's because when you don't take enough water, the amount of urine you produce will reduce, and every substance in them will be very much concentrated. And if this becomes the case, they will find it very difficult to remain in a dissolved state for a long time. At the end of the day, they will stick together and form kidney stones when they are much available. And so this is especially important for people who live in hot climate areas and people who spend much hours during the day working or something like that, because much amount of fluid that's lost through sweating has to be replaced through water intake. And except you are having some medical issues like kidney problems or heart problems that may need special guidelines for water intake from your doctor, everyone is advised to take enough amount of water on daily basis. And apart from this one, other things that can be a problem include some medications and supplements. When I say medications and supplements, I mean things like calcium-based antacid and some vitamins, and chief among these include vitamin C and D. Apart from this one, taking excess calcium supplements can also increase the amount of calcium that is filtered out in the kidney, and this will make your chances of getting kidney stone much increased. And of course, this is not in a way to discourage you from taking the medications that are rightly prescribed by your doctor or those supplements that are also encouraged, but this is to create an awareness so that you know what to expect and know what to discuss with your doctor on your chances of getting kidney stones while taking these medications. And finally, apart from what we consume, your chances of getting kidney stone can also be increased through recurrent urinary tract infection. Now, some bacterial infections are capable of producing urease, which is a chemical that makes your urine more alkaline than it should be. And alkaline urine promotes kidney stone formation like strovite. So it's advised that whenever you suspect that you might be having urinary tract infection, that you get diagnosed and get it treated as soon as possible so that you don't get yourself exposed to this. And so what we're saying in essence is that while some people are more genetically disposed than others to get kidney stones, it is important to note that your diet can also place you at some more risk. And this is not in any way to discourage you from taking anything, but also to make you aware of what you are taking and know the amount to keep it out. And if you do this very well, your chances of getting kidney stone will be drastically reduced. By next week, we are going to look at the signs and symptoms of kidney stone. All those signs, all those things that your body can use to tell you that this is what you are dealing with. So make sure you don't miss that video. Keep it there with us, and it's going to be very, very educative. So now that you know this, make sure you share this video so that many other people can get to see this and learn as well. And thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. I hope to see you in the next.